Welcome to Finance Clinic, and I am Dr. Pardon Mwansa, your host. It is the duty and it is our task at Finance Committee to, first of all, find out symptoms and signs of those who are financially stressed. And when we find out that, we then share sound principles of money management. Then we couple that to providing financial strategies with which you should brace yourself to deal with financial issues. We do not forget to share with you testimonies of people and how they are faring out in their finances in their lives. And so at this time, I invite you to the signs. What are the signs of a person who needs the Finance Clinic? What are the signs? Sign number one: when you start failing, when you fail to take full insurance coverage. You know, in order for you to protect those assets that are extremely important, assets that you can't afford to lose either by theft or by floods or by things that can easily destroy what you have worked for so hard, you are counseled and advised to take insurance coverage. At some point in the future, I'll talk about insurance coverage or risk management. But for today, suffice to say, when you find yourself as a person, when your car is valued at 300,000 kwacha and the insurance people are trying to make you or help you cover your car comprehensively with its value, but you start saying, no, I can't, I'll only take sufficient insurance to put it on the road. Or I can't take insurance coverage on my house. When you are failing to carry out those basics, you need to visit the financial clinic because you need to know how to organize your finances better so that you avoid catastrophic losses. Number two, sign number two: when you start selecting cause. At first, I had talked about when people are constantly calling you about the debt. But this one has to do with when you start selecting calls. Somebody phones you, you look at the phone, you know who is phoning you, and you select. You don't pick that phone because you know it is from somebody you owe money to. Once you start doing that, just know that you need to call and be helped because you are running away from your responsibilities. There are people who even become rude. Yeah, I said rude. Who turn off their phone so that they cannot be reached by those people who owe them. First of all, to do that is rude. Secondly, it's a clear sign you need the Finance Clinic for you to now continue with life. So when these two things happen, you need the Finance Clinic, sure. So here we are. What is our topic for today? Our topic for today is financial goals, the first step to financial management. Financial goals, the first step to financial management. In money management, the purpose of learning how to manage your wealth properly is so that you will be able to accomplish life goals that are accomplished with your finances. This will be made clear. But I want to simply run it this way. When you desire to do something, if, for example, you just want to take a walk, to walk, that may not require any finances. So that's not a financial goal. That may be a healthy goal. But financial goals have to do with you want to do something that will require money. Now, everybody in life has financial goals. So don't even think about this twice. Everybody has financial goals because, for example, a child, as little as a child going to school, they have to have their fees paid for. So there is a financial goal. Any person who gets hungry, they have no food, they have a financial goal because the only way they can reach their goal is by using money for them to acquire what they want. So the purpose of financial goals is actually intended to help you be able to start reaching your goals using your financial management. So let's see if we can now look at why is it important to have financial goals? Why do we want to teach the concept of financial goals? Number one, goals keep people focused. When you deliberately decide to write down a financial goal or to identify a financial goal, what happens is you are forcing your mind to be focused on a certain particular financial objective. So number one is that goals keep us focused on what we want. Number two, goals remind us of what we want to accomplish. It's very easy in life. Today, you want this goal. Tomorrow, you want to do this. The following day, you find somebody doing a business. You say, I also want to start a business. The following day, you find somebody going to South Africa on holiday. Oh, I also want to come on holiday. No. Financial goals helps us be reminded of what it is we want to accomplish in a calm way, not impulsively or doing it just at the spur of a moment. Number three, goals help us create direction that we want. Goals help us create a direction. Here is how it works, and I'll give examples of this later. When you are faced with hundreds of financial goals, and trust me, if I was just to ask you to list financial goals, you are likely to come up with 100 goals. You will start with, I would like to go to the moon. Some of you would simply say, I would like to go to UK. Some of you would say, I would like to own a boat. Some of you would like to say, I would like to own a camera. There are many things. The list is endless. But when you write down goals and you make the list priority, then you have created a direction of what you want your money to help you do. Number four, research shows that a person who has goals will accomplish more than a person who has no goals. Let me comment on this. Research after research has been conducted on the subject of goals. Here is how it works. A person who lists down their goals, let's say 7 goals, and a person who has not listed goals but they have them in their brain, they fly over there, research shows the person who will accomplish more is a person who has written down their goals. They have spelled out what it is they want. And because research simply means repeated observation that has produced similar results, it's more reliable. So as a matter of fact, I would like you to know right now, and take me serious, when you write your financial goals, which I will ask you to write at the end of this presentation, when you write your financial goals, I am telling you right now, you have begun the first step to being a good money manager. One who will start accomplishing your objectives using money. And lastly, goals motivate us to accomplish things. When you have goals, then goals act as your motivators. When you don't have anything you want to reach, when you don't have anything you're trying to strive to, you tend to simply stay static where you are. But when you have goals, then you have something to aspire to, something that's a direction, something that is motivating you, something that has been proven by research as something that will help you. Now, I want to make this very concrete and not abstract. So I am going to share with you 3 categories of goals. 3 categories of goals. I will start by sharing common financial goals. Then I will share goals that are most common among Christians, or that should be included in Christian goals. Then I will talk about unique individual goals. I would like you to pay attention as I look at the common goals of life. Basically, everybody is likely to engage in these common goals. Now, let me mention, this list is not exhaustive, but these 6 common goals are the most common goals that you should do or should be engaged in. Goal number 1, education. Goal number 1, education. And I want you to pay particular attention to how I have written an example of a financial goal that is doing with education. Here it is. I want to save 1,000 kwacha monthly for my 2 children's education for the next 10 years starting 2018. Okay, let me explain that goal. The goal is about children's education. So you now have a direction. The direction is children's education. You decide. You and your husband, you and your wife deliberately decide to say, we will channel our goal financially toward raising money for our 2 children's education. But look at this goal. It says it has a specific amount. We will be saving 1,000 kwacha the next 10 years in order for us to raise money for our children. This goal has a starting point, 2018. This goal has a specific amount. This goal has duration of time. That is a goal. Put that on your list because you need to attend to education. If not you, it is your children. Not only today, but in the future. Number 2, common financial goal number 2, a house. Again, I will read this financial goal the way it is crafted. I want to build a 2-bedroom house for my retirement before I turn 55 years by setting aside 1,000 kwacha each month starting 2018. Okay, forget about the amounts. Just get the principle here. The principle is you decide, you make a financial goal that says before I turn 55 years of age, I want to build a 2-bedroomed house. And as a result of my goal, I want to start saving 1,000 kwacha starting in 2018. Now let me speak about the goal of a house. Why do you need a house? You need to have a house of your own because you cannot continue living in other people's homes. I'm not attacking anybody here. But you know, this business of you are a grown person, you are an adult, you even have a husband or a wife, and yet you are squatting in someone's home, please, it's not the ideal. So you as a person should say, I want to acquire a home by the time I turn 55 or whatever age group you decide to take. The key element is to acquire a house of your own. And what do? You say, I'll be doing this until I turn 55. That is important. Remember, by the way, let me share this. The worst thing in life is to get to retirement and you have no house. Then you start bothering your children by going to them and living with them all the time and causing them have marital frictions. Okay. If you are doing that right now, I'm not talking about you because I don't even know you. But I'm talking about the principle. The principle is get a goal to build a house. Remember what we said. When you take a goal, research shows that those who take goals accomplish goals. So some of you, the reason you don't have a house is because you never took a goal. You never made a decision to say, I want to have a goal. So we go back to this. Take a goal. Okay. Third point. Number 3 point is a car. A car. Now, let me say this. Before somebody says, hold on, Doc. Dr. Mansa, are we now saying that a car has become a necessity? I live on the farm. There's no need for transport. I live in the village. Please, I'm not saying everyone should have a car. I am telling you what research shows as common goals that people take in life. When I grew up as a small boy, in those days, owning a car was not a necessity because we could walk to school, we could walk to work. But as society became complicated, as population increased in cities, it has become a challenge sometimes for a parent to juggle children. You drop your children at school, you turn around, you have to pick this child from another school, you have to go to work, report on time, you have to do this. Transport has become a necessity. Now, many of you are likely to say, or some of you, not many of you, I hope, some of you are likely to say, Doctor, that is beyond me. No, it's not beyond you. One of the reasons is you've not taken it as a financial goal. I know of a person actually who graduated from the University of Zambia and they were offered a job in the rural place and their salary is not a very huge salary. It's a government salary. And they were not earning a lot, but they decided to take a goal to say, I want to buy a car. They had started with a Noah, or they started with these little ones. You know what the truth is? Today this person has purchased a car. Every financial goal starts with the desire to accomplish. Every financial progress starts with a goal. Now what are the other common goals? Debt-free life. Now let me read that goal. I want to clear my 14,000 kwacha debt by December 2018. Okay, now let me speak about why you should make a goal on debt. At a future presentation, I will talk about debt. Debt as a consumable debt or consumer debt and debt for business. I'll talk about both. But for now, let me tell you one very simple fact. Debt is not something you should be proud of. To all people, it's not something you like or enjoy. Let's face it. The more people you owe, the more enemies you have. So, to desire to have a debt-free life is a good goal. Look at how this goal has been framed. You say, my total goal is 14,000 kwacha. Then you simply say, I want to clear this debt. I don't want to owe anybody. The fact that you've taken a goal and you have even written it down simply means you have begun on the good path to good finance management. We now go to the next goal. The next goal is retirement. Retirement is a common financial goal. Here is a statement how you can write this. I want to save 500 kwacha monthly towards my retirement for the next 25 years starting 2018. That's a complete goal, concise, to the point. Next 25 years, I want to be saving 500 kwacha every month toward my retirement. I will do this. Hold on. I can guess what some of you are saying right now. You are saying, Pastor, all the figures you are mentioning are big figures, big figures. My salary does not even get to any of those figures. So how do you expect me to do that? One of the reasons for you to take financial goals is to challenge yourself to now be creative. Creative to start saying, is there something else I can do to increase on my income? Is there something I'm not doing that I can do? Remember, just remember, some of the people on earth who have accomplished much are not people who had a lot of money. They are people who took a goal and simply said, this is my goal, I'm going to work on it. Remember what we said about research and goals. So for retirement, we already talked about it. You need to save for retirement. The next one is savings. Savings is a common financial goal. What are savings? Savings are monies you simply set aside for purposes of use in times of emergencies. Savings are amounts of money you set aside for purposes of use during times of emergencies. So let me read to you this financial goal. I want to save up to 3 months' salary for emergencies by December 2018. Now, let me say this. This is very important. At a future presentation, I will talk about how to set the amount you need to save for savings. For now, let me simply speak about the principle surfacely. You do not know when you may lose a job. You do not know when you may break your leg. You do not know when the bread earner, the person with a salary in your house, may die. There are so many factors that are simply called unknown emergencies. In financial counseling, we advocate for a person to save up to 3 months worth of salary up into their savings account. We actually say between 3 months worth of salary to 6 months worth of salary. 6 months if you are new on the job, you've not been working for a long time. Because when you've not been working for a company for a long time, you can easily lose your job than after you've been working at it for a long time. So we always advise 3 to 6 months. How does this work? Let me explain. If your salary is 6,000 kwacha, 6,000 kwacha, then according to this litmus test, you are supposed to have 6,000 kwacha times 3, which goes to 18,000 kwacha, which you must keep in your bank for savings and not touch it. Now, if it is 6 months, obviously it will be 36,000 kwacha. Now, where did financial counselors come up with these figures? Research has shown that it takes about 3 months to find a job after you lose it. Yeah, that's what research shows. Research shows that when you lose a job today, it will take many people 3 to 6 months to finally find another job. That is why we encourage people to then save 3 months worth of salary, 3 to 6 months, so that during the time they are looking for a job, according to research verification, they will have something they can fall on without failing to pay for rent, without being evicted, or without going without food. Now, this is very important, and I will now go at this time to the second category. I talked of category 1, which had to do with common financial goals. Now I'm going to category 2. Additional goals. These are additional goals to the common goals, but these are now for those who are believers, Christians. Let me sum up these goals to include: number 1, tithe; number 2, offerings; number 3, helping the poor. Let me talk about these 3. In general Christian practice, the Bible teaches that a person who honors God through their wealth will return a tithe out of their income. The Bible also clearly teaches that a person will support through offerings the activities at the church. Thirdly, a Christian, the Bible teaches, will support the poor. Support somebody poorer than you are. These are 3 big basic principles, or big basic additions to those first 6 that are applicable to a true believer. Now, let me again go through and see how you can frame these goals. Number 1, tithe. You can say, I want to be faithful by returning a tithe of all my income every month. This goal is very specific. It says every month. Number 2, I'll return a tithe, which is 10%. And number 3, I will do this every month, and I want to be faithful. That's a goal you can set. Now let me tell you, when you state this and deliberately say, I want to do it, it's my financial goal. Remember what we said. You are likely to do it, likely to accomplish it, because you've set a direction. As a matter of fact, the same is applicable to offerings. Look at what the goal says. I want, not in want, I want to give 3% of my salary to church for support for church programs. Now that is a goal again. It's up to you. You can say, I'll give 1%, I'll give 2%, I'll give 3%. An offering is free will. You determine. You write it down. That becomes your financial goal. And with regards to the poor, you can say, I want to set aside 200 kwacha monthly to help the poor. Again, it has a time element, it has an amount specific, it has a purpose to help the poor. Before I leave this page, or before I leave this Christian additional financial goals, may I say this. When you ascribe to the faith, the biblical faith, there are certain minimum expectations of how you express your love to God. And those minimums include the returning of tithe, the giving of offerings, and the assistance to the poor. These are teachings that are very fundamental in Christian faith. Okay, now we go to the last category. Last category is individual unique goals. And I just gave an example of 3. The 3 are, number 1, travel. Number 2, photographing. Number 3, orphanage. First of all, what are individual unique goals? Individual unique goals simply means what interests you, what do you like? Now, there are some of you who would like to have a swimming pool at your house. Not everybody wants a swimming pool at their house. There are some of you who want to buy a camera and take pictures. Others are not interested in that. So individual unique goals are things that pertain to your liking, what you like to do, what it is that you would like just to branch off and do. So let's take examples of the three. Number one, travel. I want to raise 5,000 kwacha annually to travel outside of Zambia every 2 years. And I like that goal. It's a good goal. You simply say, in every year, I'll try to save 5,000 kwacha. In 2 years, that's 10,000 kwacha. That's enough to buy you a ticket to go to different places. If you love traveling, what will you be doing? You'll be traveling. This after 2 years, you go to Jamaica. Those are unique goals. And it's okay in life to have unique goals, because unique goals is what makes us like life. We all are not the same. We are not wired the same. The other area of goals is that of an example, photography. There are people who would like to own a good camera. And so they would say, I want to buy a good camera for 5,000 kwacha in the next 5 years. They create a direction. Then they look for a Canon camera or for this Sony camera, anything. They own it. What is good about unique financial goals is that's what defines it. That's your signature. A house, a car, all these are not. The signatures are your unique goals. I mean, you say, me, I am from Lake Kariba in Siavonga, or from Bangwe Ulu, or from Zambezi River, and you say, I want to own a boat. That's an individual unique goal. Own a boat so that you can enjoy it. That's what you want. Okay. I know some of you are saying, but talk all these things. Part of the truth of what life is about is enjoying it. So have unique financial goals. The last one is to say, I want to dedicate 5% of my salary for the next 5 years to give to an orphanage. That's a good cause. You can do that. Now, having said all these things, let me identify the 5 elements that were in all the goals we were talking about. Number one, you have to write your goal. Write it down. Research has shown there is a difference between a written goal and a goal you don't write. Write your goal. Put it on your fridge. Put it in your bedroom to remind you. Write, number one. Number two, goals must be specific. The amount must be, this is what I want. Number three, it must be measurable in terms of amounts. Specific goal refers to, I want a boat. Specific amount, I want to raise 20,000 for the boat. Number four, goals should be time specific. You need to say, I'll do this in the next 5 years. And finally, you should state how it is you will accomplish those goals. Assignment number 1. Review all the shared goals and then identify 3 that you need in your life. Okay. Review all the common goals. Review all the goals applicable to Christian believers. Review all the goals that are unique. You can even add more. Identify at least 3 in which you need to improve, or areas in which you have not written your goals. Assignment number 2. Develop at least 5 goals and use all the elements. Use the elements in writing. What does that mean? What am I asking for? I don't want you to just say, I want education, I want this, I want this. No, I want you to practice writing a financial goal with all the elements: time specificity, duration, the purpose of the goal, all the things that we covered together. Write them down. Practice writing those goals. At least write 5. Writing them correctly and interestingly. Now, let me tell you what happens when you do that. As we will now discuss in our future discussion, these goals and the amounts you take in goals, listen to this, listen, this is crucial. These goals, with the amounts that you've written, are the goals you are going to take into your budgeting. Budgeting is an expression of your figures now put together to accomplish your financial goals. And we will come to the entire topic of budgeting. Now, you don't want to miss out these presentations. Remember, you can get in touch with us by texting to us using the number that is appearing on your screen, 09633731115. Get in touch with us. Ask questions. Share with us how you are enjoying the programs. And remember, these shows come every week on Sunday at 2000 hours Zambian time, and repeated in the week the same show. We invite you to the next show, and blessings.